This video is brought to you by Cape, the one-source app to the world of mixed martial arts. Follow the link below to cape.tv, with a K, to sign up for updates and a chance to win a walk-on role in the next installment of the Kickboxer movie franchise.
Rarely do two distinct genres mesh so well together. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 horror action movies. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be looking at the films that seamlessly blend together the elements of action and horror cinema. We'll be paying particular attention to films that emphasize the traits of both genres, as opposed to focusing more on one or the other. Now let's bring on the blood and bullets. Number 10, Dog Soldiers. Basically an action movie version of The Three Little Pigs, this film pits a group of British soldiers trapped in an isolated cottage against a pack of werewolves.
Don't stare back. I can't help it.
After a training mission against an SAS unit in the Scottish Highlands goes awry, the unprepared soldiers are taken in by a zoologist who offers them shelter from the ravenous beast hunting them. The film then becomes a battle for survival, as the soldiers defend the house from the werewolf siege. Packing plenty of bloodshed, terror, and laugh-out-loud humor, Dog Soldiers is a stellar example of how horror and action can go hand in hand, or claw and claw.
Cheers, mate.
Number 9, From Dusk Till Dawn. On the run from both the FBI and the Texas Rangers, bank-robbing brothers Seth and Richie Gecko take a vacationing family of 3 hostage to aid their escape across the Mexican border.
What is this? It's called a punch.
Planning to meet a contact in a remote strip club, the Geckos and the captive Fuller family soon discover that the club's employees are bloodthirsty vampires.
Richie, look out!
Joining forces with biker Sex Machine and Vietnam War veteran Frost, the unlikely heroes band together to survive the onslaught of the undead. An exhilarating collaboration between Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, From Dusk Till Dawn is a wickedly fun love letter to B-movie madness.
Welcome to slavery.
No thanks. I already had a wife.
Number 8, Blade 2.
I will find him, and nothing will stand in my way.
Although we also could have gone with the first Blade, we here at WatchMojo feel Blade 2 was the superior outing when it came to delivering both horror and action in equal amounts. Picking up where the first film left off, Blade 2 sees Wesley Snipes don the shades once more to team up with a squad of vampires called the Blood Pack to take on a new breed of mutant vampires called Reapers. Featuring plenty of more blood-soaked action, as well as introducing a terrifying new villain, Blade 2 arguably surpasses its predecessor, which is an impressive feat for a sequel.
Any questions? Good.
Number 7, Planet Terror. Another explosive entry from the team of Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, Planet Terror is one half of the pair's Grindhouse double feature. When a chemical weapon is released into the air as a result of a military deal gone bad, the toxic gas transforms most of the inhabitants of a nearby town into murderous zombie-like creatures. The film then follows a small group of survivors as they attempt to fight their way to safety through the hordes of sickos and the corrupt soldiers who inadvertently unleashed them.
Dance for me, motherfucker.
Bolstering a star-studded cast including Rose McGowan, Bruce Willis, and Josh Brolin, Planet Terror lives up to its Grindhouse-style billing. Number 6, 28 Days Later. A bold leap forward in the zombie subgenre, this post-apocalyptic film from Danny Boyle added new dimensions to the formula laid out by the films of George Romero.
Wait.
After infected chimpanzees unleash a hyper-aggressive virus, most of the British population is rapidly transformed into savage flesh eaters. The film follows a small group of survivors as they attempt to find refuge from the zombie epidemic. While help appears to arrive in the form of a battalion of soldiers, things quickly go from bad to worse when it becomes clear their intentions are not heroic. Fast-paced and with all the gruesome gore you'd expect from a zombie flick, 28 Days Later is worth sinking your teeth into.
And lastly, meet Mela. Mela, Jim.
Number 5, Army of Darkness.
This is my boomstick!
The third film in Sam Raimi's Evil Dead series, Army of Darkness cranks up the crazy by having Ash Williams sent back in time to the Middle Ages to help fight a war against the demonic Deadites. Embracing the slapstick violence of the Evil Dead 2 even further, this film sees Ash face off against an evil clone of himself as he searches for the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, his only hope for returning to his own time. Packing plenty of chainsaw and boomstick action, Army of Darkness solidified Bruce Campbell's status as a genre icon and helped pave the way for countless horror action films to come.
Hail to the king, baby.
Number 4, They Live. A thought-provoking indictment of corporate fascism, John Carpenter's They Live stood in stark contrast to the conformist nature of Reaganomics and made an action icon out of a wrestling legend, Roddy Piper. Hot Rod plays John Nader, a construction worker who discovers a global conspiracy to brainwash humanity by wealthy elites who are actually monstrous aliens. In addition to having one of the all-time great movie fight scenes, They Live draws inspiration from the sci-fi horror films of Carpenter's childhood, which gives it a vintage drive-in feel. Make sure to keep a good supply of bubblegum handy.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Number 3, The Thing. In this loose remake of the classic The Thing from Another World, the team of director John Carpenter and special effects master Rob Bottin created a masterpiece of terror.
Is that a man in there or something?
Whatever it is, they burn it up in a hurry.
Starring action icons Kurt Russell and Keith David, The Thing follows an Antarctic research team, which comes face to face with a shape-shifting monstrosity from outer space. Unfortunately for them, bullets, flamethrowers, and dynamite only slow down the malevolent creature that seeks to imitate them. Bolstered by an all-male ensemble cast, this film combines eerie paranoia, horrific visuals, and explosive action to create an instant classic in its own right.
You too!
Number 2, Predator.
You son of a bitch!
Blending the slasher movie formula with the ultra-masculine action movies of the era, Predator took the best of both worlds and spawned a franchise. Arguably the horror genre's answer to the testosterone-fueled action flicks of the 80s, this film pits an elite team of mercenaries against an intergalactic big-game hunter, looking for additions to his collection. With a cast of memorable characters who would likely be unstoppable heroes in any other film, Predator takes the squad of badasses led by Dutch Schaefer and reduces them to mere prey against their hideous, spine-collecting adversary. If only that chopper had gotten there sooner.
Get to the chopper!
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
That's how they get you. They're under the goddamn ground.
Number 1, Aliens. While Ridley Scott's Alien was a gothic horror film set in space, James Cameron's sequel added a prominent action element and cemented Ellen Ripley's status as a total badass.
Get away from her, you bitch!
After spending nearly 60 years in suspended animation, Ripley awakens and leads a team of space marines to rescue the inhabitants of a xenomorph-infested colony.
You know what I mean. There's like one female that runs the whole show.
Maintaining the same claustrophobic terror of the original while imbuing it with plenty of 80s action bombast, Aliens takes the foundation of its predecessor and builds on it to create a film which satisfies both horror and action cravings simultaneously.
This video is brought to you by Cape, the one-source app to the world of mixed martial arts, where you'll find unlimited news and information on your favorite fighters and organizations. You can